We're in the middle of a climate emergency. Climate change is having a massive impact on wildlife and nature. 2019 saw Stafford and the Trent Valley hit by destructive flooding. There were devastating wildfires in 2018 and 2019, causing more damage than the previous decade put together. We're also noticing species moving north as the climate warms and migratory birds arrive earlier. So now is the time for the government to act with the upcoming COP26 conference. Human influence has warmed the climate at an unprecedented rate in the last 2,000 years. At the same time, the State of Nature report has demonstrated that we're living in one of the most nature-depleted countries in the world. Carbon is released when soils are drained, disturbed, ploughed or dried out. Nature-based solutions and the restoration of semi-natural habitats are one of the weapons in our armour to fight climate change. In this video, we're going to learn about what Staffordshire Wildlife Trust is doing and also the ways in which you can get involved to help fight climate change on your doorstep.
We're here today at Branston Leas, where in the last 6 years we've planted 21,000 trees across 81 acres. We've lost much of our native semi-natural woodland across the UK due to agriculture and urban expansion. Woodlands play an essential role in the carbon cycle by helping to soak up carbon from the atmosphere, but as well by mitigating and holding back surface water flooding. This woodland planting project is one of a suite of projects planting woodland across Staffordshire, but also improving other semi-natural habitats. The more habitats that we're able to carry out restoration on, the better a chance we have at combating the effects of climate change. What we don't want to do is risk losing further native UK habitats and instead plant in a mosaic and look towards a solution that works together to contribute to a green recovery.
We're here at the Blackbrook Nature Reserve, where we've been delivering key peatland restoration work. 80% of the UK's peatlands are damaged by people's activities past and present. Peatlands are great for storing CO2, but in a damaged state, UK peatlands actually contribute to 4% of the UK's annual CO2 output, which is why they must be repaired. As well as storing CO2, peatlands act like sponges, soaking up water, releasing it slowly, lessening the effect of drought and preventing flooding downstream. We've been installing peat dams, stone dams and peat plugs to help slow the flow of water, spreading it out across the surface, creating wetland habitat, fantastic for species like sphagnum moss and cranberry. Many peatlands in their degraded state are biological deserts. This area was dominated by dry heather. But now, this area has flourished and biodiversity has massively increased. These natural flood management techniques are very simple to implement and the effects are massive.
We're here today on the Burton Washlands delivering the suite of nature-based solutions to help combat climate change. What you can see here is green hay strewing, and what we're doing is enriching the grassland on site to add in some more wildflowers, which is going to help us to combat climate change and help mitigate against the impacts of flooding, and it's going to increase the biodiversity for a range of species across the site. For example, helping to provide some resilience to species such as pollinators, which will benefit from the nectar resource that the grasslands provide.
Ancient heathland soils such as these at Gentleshore Common are fantastic at locking in carbon. However, lots of these lowland heaths have been destroyed, and it's thought that in the last 150 years, 85% of our lowland heaths have been lost and destroyed. Gentleshore Common is one of the largest areas of lowland heath in Staffordshire. Staffordshire Wildlife Trust has been working to restore heathland areas like this, clearing areas of bracken and scrub, to make sure that plants such as the beautiful heather can spread and thrive, which is great for insects. Semi-natural habitats and nature-based solutions can be very effective at locking in carbon, but they need to follow the nature recovery network so that the right habitat is restored in the right location to enable species to move across the most suitable habitats.
At At Cherry Home, we've restored a river island by reinstating a historical river channel, which is helping to restore some of the natural features. By doing this, we're making the River Trent more resilient to help with the capacity against things like flooding and improve the structural diversity, which will in turn improve the diversity of the aquatic wildlife. Of all of our rivers across the UK, just about 14% are considered in good ecological condition. It's crucial that we look to restore our floodplains and rivers at this time, as climate change is causing more frequent extreme weather events.
At Doxy Marshes, we've worked hard to restore parts of the River Sow. Historically, it's been canalised and straightened. These wetland soils are thought to store over 280 tonnes of carbon per hectare, and the wetland vegetation is thought to capture over 20 tonnes of carbon per hectare per year. It's great for wildlife, it slows the flow of floodwater, protecting the town of Stafford downstream, but it's great to lock in carbon.
We're here in Jackson's Copperson Marsh, a Staffordshire Wildlife Trust reserve. This reserve acts as a flood storage area and alleviates flooding in Stafford. Natural flood management is an affordable and sustainable method of flood management which uses natural processes to slow the flow of water through a landscape, to reduce flooding and erosion, which take the peaks out of flash flooding events which are becoming increasingly common, which benefits both people and wildlife. Examples of natural flood management include encouraging sustainable agricultural practices, planting hedgerows and trees, as well as installing leaky barriers which are designed to slow the flow of water but not completely stop. We need to invest in nature-based solutions as part of a nature recovery network to help mitigate the effects of climate change. Being a member helps fund a lot of the nature-based solution works that we as a trust are working on. Please share this video and visit our website where you can find out how to help with climate action. Together we can create a wilder future.